Hello, and welcome to the first episode of our Delving the Proving Grounds series. In this first episode, I'm going to run the Proving Grounds with the deck that you can see in front of you. 4 copies of the Banshee card, a Sea Monk, a Mind Flayer, the God of Destruction, 2 Apsaras, a Complement of Elves, the Dewata, the Mad Reverser, because this deck is heavily wood and we're going to struggle against fire, and 4 capture cards. The name of the game here is just to have the Elves take care of the compulsory fights. Use the Mad Reverser in case we're getting focused down by fire so that the Elves have class advantage against it, and only to use the Green Guardian combo occasionally, hence the use of only 1 Elf, because the rest of the independents are just stronger. We're taking the God of Destruction for Pazuzu and the level 20 challenge room, and on top of that we're going to be attempting to see whether the rumours are true and the Jack-o'-lantern does not spawn in the American version of the game. Dewata here for emergencies, as well as something to do while the Elves are fighting. So let's see how it does. So we immediately load in on a fire level, and the first rounds of the Proving Grounds will always be fire, so this is kind of why it is quite important for us to have things like the Mad Reverser. We have a Scythe Beast hopping around. The Berserkers here are attacking each other and everything on the map, but this is absolutely fine. We're quite happy for them to slowly kill each other. We need to take some Banshees through the Proving Grounds here, primarily because we're quite likely to encounter breakable stone walls, and we'll need to be able to actually destroy them. So here we're going to get under attack by what appears to be an Orc and a Dragon Knight. Getting the Apsaras out should allow us to kill these enemies. The Dark Elf took some hits, now safe. And of course, my Elf is actually getting hit by, I think, a Berserk Master debuff. So it's attacking my own Apsaras, which is awkward. So getting rid of that Berserk Master should calm my Elves down, and we can progress on to the next room. Most of the fights in Proving Grounds aren't actually compulsory, so there's no need in particular to focus. That is a locked gate, so we can't go through there, so we'll have to go back the other way. Now, you might be wondering why I have quite a small deck size here. The advantage of a small deck is that I can cycle through my cards a bit faster, and I should be able to go through the deck twice using things like the Mind Flayer and Sea Monk combo, which will restore essentially all of the usable cards in my deck. Things like the capture cards and the God of Destruction are largely just baggage. They're not that useful outside of certain rooms, so we want to try and avoid using them where possible. This is a room that we can actually escape, so we're just going to ignore it and head on over to the escape room. Discard the Elf before it's killed, because sometimes that helps us with some extra scoring, and we'll exit the level here. Only 1 star, of course, because I didn't genocide everything in the level. Get a Dragon Knight, but there aren't any particularly important drops from the early levels. Zone 2, we get quite a lot of sort of fire-type cards here, along with some of the lizard men. So I'm going to set up some Elves here, maybe get some murder going on, as I start to run through the level again. The Elves should be able to hold their own in general. Probably don't want to use Sea Monk here. Appears to be an encounter behind me. It's just 1 lizard man. 2 lizard men. Not important. Not going to try and kill them. This next room is barred with a gate. There's also the exit room, so hey, free level. Get a red lizard, and we get a Trent, which I can't actually believe that I haven't already got. Weird. Oh, you buy it from the shop, and I didn't buy it because I was saving my money early on. Now, this first room here is one of the scarier ones. We have a matador up ahead. Somewhat scary. Because these levels are going so well, I'm just going to use the Sea Monk here to briny pillars it. So I can get through this door. Now, I don't need 2 Apsaras, so just going to cycle through some cards here. I'm getting attacked here by a flame golem. So just going to summon some elves here. Immediately going to get distracted by this matador, but the matador doesn't have a lot of health. Mainly useful for the decoy action. Hobgoblin easily falls. Going to give us the opportunity to get the Dark Elf out for some class neutrality against this. Normally that should one-shot my Elf Lord, but because the Apsaras is doubling its defense, it can live hits even from things like the Flame Golem, which would usually just one-shot it. Anytime you see open doors ahead of you, this is a sign that you are probably heading towards a compulsory encounter. So, wait for these elves. They come in, we're going to trigger it. I'm going to throw down the Mad Reverser, so I have class advantage against these golems. Take down the first one. Now this is a compulsory fight. I have to kill these to progress. But even this elf should be able to do some major damage against it. Try and dodge the eruption here. Elf is just going to slowly whittle it down. And we're sorted. You'll notice that this set of doors is now automatically opened because I've killed the compulsory monster from the encounter. I can get rid of my Mad Reverser, I can get rid of my elf. 2 Banshees should carry me through this short run over to the exit. Two-star rating, get myself a couple of new cards. We get a Undead Knight and we get a Fire Golem. Now, this is a room you do not want to stick around in long. The Valkyrie, the Demon Fox, both have a huge amount of fire spam. And on top of that, there is a Elemental here, which is constantly draining my life. So I'm going to just try and run through as quickly as possible. Might use some door opening invincibility. Not that that exists in this game, but if it did, it's something I'd want to use in that room. So let's see what's in this one. Nothing seems particularly aggro in this room, so we're just going to ignore it. And there's nothing in this room either. Proving Grounds proving to be very kind to me today. Just get rid of the God's Destruction. Don't want to accidentally kill myself by using it too much. It is mainly here just for one room that is otherwise very challenging to complete. Well-deserved 1-star rating on that one. But I do get the Demon Fox, so that is a absolute bonus. Demon Fox being a particularly good card. Homing fireballs. And now we're on the wood level, and we're quite happy to be here. There's a mole monster in the background, but all of my cards are pretty good against wood, so I'm quite happy to be here. Get some enemy kills, now that I'm through the zone that I'm weak to. The mole monster has petrified me. It can't attack when it's on your side, obviously. But my elves are just going to sort of run through, kill things. Wow, it killed the Z-charged one. I'm surprised at that. Break down some walls. Won't need the Prayer of the Wise combo for this wall. Anything cool trigger in here? Apparently just empty. I can see open doors in front, so this, I think, should be the Sleeping Giant room, if I recall. Spending some health here. There's a Nightmare, there's a Draconid, and there's a Mole Monster. So hopefully my Dark Elf here is going to actually hit the Tumble Chick? Can you not reach the Tumble Chick? There you go. Sorted that out for you, Dark Elf. Now, the Nightmare is a particularly weak independent card. Very slow attack. Its range is just garbage. But we're going to clear out this room nice and easily as a result. Cannot be opened. What else is there for me to kill? Oh, there it is, the Mole Monster. Since it spends so much time hiding underground, I couldn't see it. We'll get rid of the Elf Lord before he dies, and 2 Banshees should be enough to carry us through. Whoops. Thought I was in door opening range. But not quite. Quickly kill a final Nightmare, and then go to the next level. Draconid and Nightmare, pretty good. We have quite a few weird monsters here. Awful starting hand. Can't think of a much worse opening hand than that. I have just realised this might actually be the wood-aligned level, but I'm too colourblind. Not wood-aligned, earth-aligned level, but I'm too colourblind to see. The Bumhagen and the Juggernaut here might be a big clue to this. I'm sorry, Shrek, but I had to do it to you. Just going to cycle through some junk in between rooms. Corridors give us a perfect opportunity to get rid of them. See a locked door. Nothing seems to be spawning, so we'll just keep going on. So it's worth noting, perhaps, that the Prayer of the Wise combo restores 10 to 12 cards from your deck. So if all of my Elves and Apsarases die, then I should be able to recover the majority of my deck. Ah, it's the exit. Some of the levels don't have very many encounters, but some of them have some really tough compulsory ones. They tend to be later on. We get a Atlas bust and a stone golem. Called a global bust, but it's clearly meant to be Atlas, right? Immediately we spawn in next to a mould and some banshees. Banshees going to be particularly tough because of their long range. Summon a dark elf and hope that it gets the banshee first. Well, they got rid of one. These banshees do die very quickly. And that one seems to have got poisoned by the grey mould, which actually halves your health and poisons you if you're healthy, or fully heals you and cures your poison if you're poisoned. Really quite a weird monster. So again, we're just cycling through, try and get some decent independence here. Because we are immediately going to get attacked by a Voivra. Now, an Elf Lord here should be able to do a good job at finishing off this Voivra. Massive defense on these things. But of course, the Elf Lord, very reliable, going to finish it off quite easily. And loads of magic stones from that encounter. So up ahead we have one of our compulsory fight rooms, so hopefully my Elf Lord is going to follow me. You coming? In you come. So we're going to set up here because this is the Whoopsall Voivra room. Our Apsaras empowered cards are going to be able to kill these quite easily. Even though the Apsaras is getting petrified here, it's not the one that we need to actually attack. Finish these off quite easily. Usually this can be quite tough if they surround you, but if you can get the drop on them, then it is going to be a lot easier. And another nice easy kill on these guys. Come as no surprise that one of the rewards for this floor is actually the Voivra, but I already have one through trading from a second account of mine where I completed the Sacred Battle Arena before. So that's going to actually be the end of this level. We finish off this Banshee before it can get us. Or kill our elves. Get a skeleton and we get a blue mold. So this is the big earth floor. We have the Behemoth, we have the Elephant King. Both enemies that we've encountered before, but we probably want to clear these ones out. Particularly just to show that we can. So, using some invincibility frames here, summoning the Elf Lord, and then quickly dropping an Apsaras here. That one-shot my Elf Lord. That's pretty scary. Hopefully the Dark Elf should be able to do a good job of getting some damage down on this Behemoth. On second thoughts, this may not be a floor that we want to clear. But I'm invested now. I need to take revenge for my beautiful elves. And I kill the Behemoth. So, next room, probably want to get some Green Guardian action going on. Keeping a weapon around just in case. Nothing going to happen in this room, but my elves are just going to top me up. Which is one of the reasons why an elf deck is quite forgiving for the Proving Grounds. Lots of healing without wasting deck slots. They may not be following me, which is a slight issue, given that this room has even more Behemoths in and Wizards. But it also has the exit, so we're just going to take it. giving us a gnome. Now we are on the Circosaurus and Acid Rain and Catapoker level. This one is a little bit of a relief level. It's very easy monsters. Got things like the Circosaurus, which are just going to try and slowly roll their little ball towards us. Tumblechick, Catapoker. You can't fight the enemies on this floor. It's basically just bullying. I can't open this door. I have a horrible feeling that I'm going to have to kill the Tumblechick, which is a tragic event, but my Dark Elf should be enough to be able to finish off everything on this floor, given that things like the Catapoker and Tumblechick are so incredibly weak. Oh, look at the Acid Rain. Look at it float slowly towards me. That's actually a carbuncle, not a Tumblechick. They're roughly the same size, so you would essentially expect. That appears to be blocked by stone. We're quite happy to go down this way. Clear out that door. Then immediately get to the exit. Wow, short level. Get a Mad Reverser, we get a Carbuncle. Now this is a floor. It's full of elves. As well as something called a Vampire Bush. And what appears to be a Lycanthrope. Just try and dodge. Oof. Getting some good dodges off against this Tiger Mage. Panther Mage? I can't remember. Their sprites look basically identical to me, so don't think I need to kill everything on this floor to get through. May well finish off this Tiger Mage here, Panther Mage, whichever one the wood one is. I think it's the Panther Mage. Trading some damage across on them. Not something elves tend to want to do, but I have an advantage in the fact that I can just run around and distract it, and my elf can just kill it. So we continue on with the floor. This Dark Elf is looking like it's seen better days. But we're going to get into a fight here with a Sleeping Giant. And apparently, I'm going to get confused and think that that Elf Lord is my own Elf Lord. So I would quite appreciate it if my guys actually attacked as well. The Sleeping Giant here, not going to be a problem. Its name sort of implies what it does. It's asleep until you attack it. So, until my elves actually sort of try and kill it, it's not going to do anything to us. All you can hear is just the chaotic noise of elves having a slap fight with each other. Trading some daggers back and forth. Until, in the end, only mine survive. The Apsaurus isn't going to come with me. Very slow moving. Doesn't really play as a team. But my other elves are. So once again, we have some elves. I'm going to help mine out this time by using the Banshee to target some of mine. Possibly throw down the Apsaurus, just to make sure that my elves do a decent chunk of damage. Won't need the Mad Reverser here. Throw down an Elf Lord. The elves here mainly being used just because of their good AI. We will also do a skeleton run at some point, possibly including Skullapalooza, but that is very definitely a meme. And we see the exit right up ahead. I'm just going to ignore all of the sleeping giant, the elf lord, go straight ahead to the exit. And we get a blood bush and an elf lord. Good card. I'll run it in my deck even. Now this is an interesting floor. We have a Rafflesia, we have a ghost armor coming at us. We also have what appears to be an archer tree, but shouldn't need to fight any of these. Let's cycle round for some decent cards that I can use in this compulsory challenge room. So here what I'm really looking for is to throw down Dark Elf, the Apsaras, and of course this Elf Lord, ready for this room, which is entirely just Chameleos and one Ghost Armor. Oh, I haven't actually cast the Dark Elf. Kind of helps. Now these Chameleos actually adapt to whatever element that they got last hit by. So they become that element and they attack with that element. Think Kecleon in Pokemon. Exactly like that. But they're actually going to get some hits off on my Elf Lord. But they're kind of squishy, so they're just going to lose. Still have the Bunchy, just in case, but we get through this floor pretty easily. Might as well kill some things in this room, because I've got everything still around. Ghost Armor cannot stand a chance. That Scythe Beast also just going to die. Might as well kill this Archer Tree as well. I'll take one whole damage from it. Thanks to the Song of Courage. And we'll just finish off this Chameleos as well. Some of my cards have died, but this is fine. We extract with a pretty good score. Basic cards. Can just get them from the shop, so bit disappointing pulled from that. So, immediately needing to run away a little bit from this Fenrir that's going to try and kill me. This is one that you very much want to try and kill using some weapons. Or else, use some invincibility frames here. Tried to time that. So you can see I'm taking a lot of damage from this guy. Will need to use the Green Guardian combo later on. But hopefully my Apsaras distracts it long enough for my Dark Elf to do its job. Of course here I'm on Wood Power Up. That means all of my elves are a lot better, a lot stronger than they should be. So also just going to kill this Scythe Beast, just because I can. That did not die. Dark Elf, bail me out! I made promises that I couldn't check. Wow, that has got the wonkiest hitbox I think I've ever seen. So we're just going to continue on here. I'm fishing for the elf combo here, just to help keep me alive. Quite often the first room is the risky one. It's the one that's going to actually get you hurt, because you don't have time to sort of prepare to fight things. But with the Song of Courage, with the Green Guardian combo, 3 elves this Fenrir is not going to stand a chance. Absolutely crushed. Also have to be a bit worried about the Mandra Kings here. These trap-type creatures that scream if you approach them. But with them just being deleted by my elves, it's going to be okay. Get some healing, because the elves clearly think they have nothing to do. Back up to my normal running speed. Ooh. Here, we are getting attacked by a Birdman and yet another Fenrir. So I'm going to try and lead it back to my team. Apsaras here getting healed as well by the elves means that she's a good distraction. Crowd control coming out from the Dark Elf. And of course, the normal elf here just going to finish it off. Excuse me, Dark Elf, thank you. Actually, the speed of that means it might be a Garuda. They're kind of hard to tell apart. One of my elves seems to have gone missing. Hello? My elf lord? My elf lord's clearly decided there's something more fun to do than, you know, stick with the team. Probably still trying to kill that whipworm from Room 1. Wait a sec, what did that get behind me? I'm shaken. I'm entirely shook. That looks like it must be the Garuda. It's way stronger than the previous Birdmen. And it does a 2-hit slash instead of a 1-hit slash. So, looks like it's the upgraded version. I'm going to kill off my combo here. It's running low. I'd rather be able to set myself up well for the next room. Just in case there's a Mandra here that I need to get by. That's what we like to call damage boosting in the trade. It's a speedrun strat. We get a Garuda, we get a Fenrir. I refuse to call it Fenril, by the way. I think that's a mistranslation from the Japanese. It's clearly meant to be Fenrir, the famous fox from Norse mythology. Somewhat of a scary room, some fire creatures, a rubber froggy, which we love. Look at the rubber froggy. You can't say no to a card like the rubber froggy. Have to pronounce the card that's attacking me carefully. It's called the Phooka. Phooka. So that is absolutely a fine card to say, and not get age restricted or demonetized or anything. Not that I'm monetized in the first place, but imagine if I was. Do not want to be throwing that. Come on, really? Elf Lord, come on. It's right there. It's right there. Throw out a Mad Reverser here, so I have class advantage against this. But probably don't want to keep the Mad Reverser out, given that the colour of this level implies it's water. That is a lot of rubber froggies in the room ahead of us. Might be worth just throwing down an elf here. Apsaras. And then sort of seeing what can be offered. We have an Octobush up ahead. Not entirely sure how you obtain it. I think it's Proving Grounds only. Ah, there's a timeout combo in play. So that will explain why everything's getting slowed and stunned periodically. So we got rid of the bush, and now this rubber froggy should be a nice easy kill for my elves. Turns out that this way was actually blocked. We'll get this March Hare out of the way. Delightful. This card is banned in co-op, by the way, in PvP, by the way, because it turns out like a 5-second stun is really, really annoying. But looks like we've lost our Elf Lord. I'm going to drag the Apsaras with me for this whole floor. But my Dark Elf should be fine. So probably need to just fish for a weapon here to get through this. Not going to attempt to capture a wall. Don't think that works. I may be out of weapon cards. Well, there's a reason that we bring things like the Sea Monk. Or I could have just devarted it, that would have also been logical. But, what do you say? Might as well show off what all of the cards do. Should just be able to run through this one. Don't think that the fight in this room is compulsory. And I did the other side, so I'm not even just being a dirty coward. And we find the exit just up ahead. Oh, it's Pazuzu! That's one of the cards on my please can I have you list. So I actually do need to complete this room after all. So what I'm going to be doing here is aiming to, well, throw out any Elf Lord right on the edge of this room. Try and keep it safe from Pazuzu. Ooh! Now you can see that Pazuzu's taking up a ridiculous amount of space in the room. Very aggressive card. This is one of my future build-arounds. So I need a capture card, I need the God of Destruction, and I need some more health for this to work. So I'm going to run up here, God of Destruction for the final judgment. So, huge amounts of damage on these Pazuzus. Gonna miss with the capture card. This is fine. Probably need to get away from this vampire bush. Ooh, this is proving to be more difficult than I hoped. Oh my god, they're healing. Oh, this is bad. The Octobush is stealing all of them. I'm going to have to get out. I'll have to do another run to try and find this card. So I'm not going to sacrifice the whole run just to get Pazuzu. I think there's another chance at Pazuzu. I think it drops from one of the levels. So this is a floor with a whole bunch of dragons. Now you might notice that even though I wasted my capture cards, they're not dead or anything like that. They are still available to be used. Tough first room. Killed many of my elves. But that's fine. We're stabilised now. So no major problems. Probably should have kept a weapon card for that, but oh well. We'll just go to the physical door instead. We have a compulsory fight coming up. So, good to get rid of some of these useless cards. So, this is going to come to a little bit more mana than you'd hope, but should be well worth it when everything is set up. We now have to fight 2 of the big dragons. My elves are doing a good job and focusing on the one that they can deal with the easiest. As soon as we have enough, we're going to Apsaras here to double their attack. So, first dragon dead. Nice and easy. So here we're going to just try and deal with this red dragon best we can. The Dark Elf is going to need to carry this. Elf Lord is just going to be here as moral support. Let me restock on some magic stones. Everything should be just following me at a nice, calm pace. Ready for the next room, which is full of more dragons, just in case you thought we didn't have enough. Looks like my Elf Lord's dead. Just about. Don't know what my Dark Elf is doing. Somewhere on this level, I'm sure. Probably need to get rid of the mad reverses. First of all, I want to finish off this dragon here while it's nice and weak. How many Ice Assaults can you cast? Well, quite a lot. Get some more magic stones, and then we should be able to go to the exit. We're just going to ignore these last 2 dragons. They don't particularly matter. We've killed enough to get a good decent reward. And predictably, we get 2 dragons from this level. We go straight into a very weird level with what appears to be a mermaid. We've got a vampire bush. We've got a larval fly? Much smaller than I remember it being. Anyway, probably best to get out of this level before I get too much of my health drained. Probably a good idea to bring the Green Guardian combo this next room, just to stay nice and healthy. We have some weird sounds here. That's a Wraith. Gonna just clip it with the Banshee. Nice and easy. Kill the mermaid. We kill the bush. With full health. Let's keep going. Turns out we need to go back the other way. Oh no, we've actually got our exit here. Good RNG. And we get a Apsaras and a Mermaid. Very good. So, tough first floor straight up. Water's getting powered up. There's lots of Marids. Marids are pretty tough. Their Ice Blast is strong, it has a long range, and it's quite fast moving. I think here we want to just go for as many allies as we can, whilst maintaining some banishes. Straight away we get attacked by some big skeletons. But of course, they are no match for a couple of Elf Lords. Hopefully the Apsaras follows us through. Don't want the Mad Reverser here. And that's another quick level. Just ignore the Frost Golem and the Hagans behind us. We get a free Ice Golem. Quite a good summon. So I don't know if you were able to hear that, but I had the most horrifying screaming sound come from one side. Here we have got what appears to be a Mind Flayer. Going to try and stun or charm my Apsaras, so probably need to get the kill on that before it's too bad. We're in a level that I actually hate the colour of. This colour hurts my eyes. This is the Yin Yang. It's currently on healing mode. Now it's on damage everything. Oh, now it's still on healing mode. It will heal anything that comes into contact with it, even if it's friendly. To me, that is. Don't approach that thing, ever. I'm a bit concerned that it's taking such little damage. Fine, I'll blow it up myself then. I'll get poisoned. It's fine. I don't mind, honestly. Oh, I absolutely do mind. Every tick, I have to sort of sit back and, like, faint a little bit. What are they still fighting? Oh, it's a Yin Yang. Okay. My paralysis will wear off soon, I'm sure. By the way, I hope you're enjoying this highly repetitive soundtrack. Hey, it's the Mad Bomber! It's like this little monkey thing that hides bombs all over the place, and they explode after a certain time. It's not particularly strong. If you notice, he has no close range attack, so my Apsaras is just going to just laugh at him. Oh no, why are those things next to the exit? I'm actually terrified. I might have to actually just combo them out. We have yet another Octobush, wow. I'll need the elves to kill this Octobush before I can clear out those, what are they called? They're called, like, something really weird, like Pumpy Rumpers or something. Don't quote me on that, but when you have them as a card on your side, you have to sort of mash a button until they pump up enough and then they explode. So they're really weird. quick God of Destruction here, just to set their health to 1, because they're water. One of the 4 classical elements. Okay, that was way less successful than I hoped. So, we're just going to leave like that. Yes, we got the... Super Pumper, that's it. And the Boom Monkey. Is Mad Bomber the name of its attack, then? Must be. Oh, this is not a room that you want. A whole bunch of vampires, wyverns, necromancers. This is one of the ones where you just leg it to a corridor. Give you some time to set up. Hence why we bring a Devata with us. This should be a theoretically scary room. Probably don't need to Z charge everything. But we're just going to try and get some kills quickly before these strong neutral monsters manage to destroy too many of the elves. The Acid Dragon, really strong in this Proving Grounds. Really good attack, will just get through. Even to my Apsaras buffed units, so do try and avoid them. So again, we have a similar room. Just going to run it for the exit. The Necromancer shouldn't be able to affect me too badly here. One star, but somewhat expected, because I tried to avoid the monsters. Get a Puppet Master. We get into the next room. So, this is actually the penultimate level. Have loads of scary demons here. So, probably want to, given that they're fire aligned, have the Mad Reverser, give us some strength against them. Try to line up the shots so the Banshee can kill 2 at once. We're still good here. Health doesn't matter as much. I'm running Green Guardian. But we do absolutely need to kill these. This is a lot of demons. I'm going to try and throw these as far away as possible. Give them some range. Then use the Apsaras. May not have time to Apsaras. Okay, this is not good. I think this is a... Try and leave the scary demon room as quickly as possible. Time. Going to use some briny pillars here, but this is looking pretty bad for us. Okay, well, looks like it's despawned. That's why we always pack an emergency Devata, just in case. Apsaras is going to continue to tank, giving us a chance to heal, restore, re-energize on mana. And then, hopefully, refresh some of the deck. In fact, I want to be in a corridor for this. Just to guarantee that nothing can spawn. Right, Green Guardians, heal me please. Okay, that's going to be enough health. Just to guarantee I don't die in this next room. We're right by the door. Going to get into a room with some black dragons, which was a boss in a previous level. But in theory, my elves should be able to just keep my Apsaras alive and kill it from the doorway. I'm going to stay a bit further back. And there we go. Black dragon's killed. There's also a Nua here, but we're not too scared of that. We killed that in our Sacred Battle Arena. And that is actually the Ryuhi, the 8-star wood dragon, which I don't remember seeing in the wild before. Does a lot of lightning damage. Pretty scary, but it's an optional encounter here, so. Lots of health, probably not worth fighting if we don't have to. Especially if we have another room that is a compulsory fight. Hoping that my Apsaras is coming along, because I am definitely going to need it for this room. We find a Kraken, we find a Nua. Focus fire on the Kraken, easily kills it, and then the Nua, which is a bit more jumpy, has a bit more of a AoE around it, can easily just be finished off by these elves. Nice fight, and that opens the room. Pretty bad hands coming up of 4 capture cards, so probably better avoid discarding anything else. We're just going to try and avoid these remaining boss monsters before we get to the final floor of the Proving Grounds. We get a Kraken. Right, this is a room that we absolutely just leg it out of. There are much harder rooms here. We do not want any of this. We see a Brine Dragon, which is an elemental god. There are 3 steel skeletons. This is an absolutely horrifically difficult room. We just try and ignore it wherever possible. At some point I will try and get some more magic stones, but only in a room where it's safe. I will need more magic stones for this floor. I actually have access to all of the 4 elemental gods, the 4 cardinal beasts from Chinese myth already, so I'm not going to try and capture them. I'm pretty sure this room is still optional, because this is only 2 of them, and there's a room where I will have to fight all 4. And And so, provided they're not following me, I should be in a good spot to set up for the toughest room in the Proving Grounds. Now this can either go right or very, very wrong. So immediately all 4 of the sacred beasts are going to appear. Now, what I want to do is final judgment them and attempt to kill them by using a banshee. If I can get just 2 of them killed, it is going to make this room so much easier. Okay, that's the first one gone. That's the second one gone. We're now in a position where we're a lot happier because we can now take on the other 2 at our leisure. This is going to require some finessing, some finagling, but with a variety of enemies. In fact, I'm quite happy to take the 2 damage here to get out the Elf Lord, ready to try and hopefully deal with this White Tiger first. You may notice that when I used the God of Destruction, I did over 500 damage, and so the total health in this room is easily in the thousands. So it's a very useful room to take the God of Destruction to, even if it is dead for most of the run. So we have a dead White Tiger. All we need to do now is kill this Great Turtle, which is going to take ages, because as you can predict, it has an insane amount of defense being a turtle. But we're there. We get a whole bunch of magic stones, we get a refill. We check the map. It's 2 more rooms until we are at the final boss of the Proving Grounds. I am just going to let these elves wear themselves out. I will get them back for free. And in fact, I'm not even going to try and dig through my deck currently, because the more I can just kill in this room, the less worried I have to be if I have to retreat from the final boss. I should just be able to ignore that Great Turtle and keep going. So here we have the gateway. Now, for this, I have a specific set of cards that I am going to need. So my first order of business is going to be to ensure I have 4 Banshees left, so I need to restore some cards. Apparently, I couldn't get 4 Banshees for some reason, but we're going to open up here and see the final boss room. Now we have pictures of the 4 cardinal beasts here, and so in keeping with the Chinese theme, we are going to encounter the Emperor. Hit him with a Banshee and he'll teleport back. His Imperial columns here, really powerful. Just going to need to keep hitting him and retreating. He is quite a formidable foe, but people have worked out... Oh my god, he just pulled me in. I didn't know he could do that. You don't encounter him very often, so it's worth just trying to be careful. Gonna knock him back. Knock him back again. Got to dig through. Oh, that's bad. We don't want that. He seems to have deleted water cards, which is slightly problematic. In case you don't know, the Emperor is able to delete elements from the game. And so he's taken water, so I now can't recur cards from my deck. Oh. He's knotted, but that must be for fire. Because I still have wood cards in my deck. As you can see, he has a ridiculously large amount of defense as well. Just try and bully him with the Devata here. Since he always seems to dodge vertically, you would think this wouldn't be too hard, but of course he is just going to be incredibly annoying here. And he's killing all of my independents in one hit. Meaning it might almost be time to try and endgame him. No, no. Come on, let me. Caught him! I have the Emperor. So, really rough at the end there. Possible to get a 0-star rating, who knew? But we have completed the Proving Grounds with the Elves, and we have walked away with the grand prize of the Proving Grounds, the Emperor. So having a look at our new cards, we have him. He is one of the most powerful cards in the game. As you can see, neutral summons, 8-star. But he can be used to delete one of the 4 major attributes. So if you're playing a neutral or a mech deck, you can use it without any worry. And he is also the ultimate capture card himself. It will capture any enemy creature, and he will then replace. He will then go back to the Proving Grounds, and whatever you caught will replace the Emperor. It's never worth using the Emperor as a capture card. It takes a while to get him, so he's mainly just a trophy. And to commemorate that, and to show that the Elves deck has made it to the end, the Emperor is going in the Elves deck. Almost as a little crown to place and say, this deck is good. So thank you for watching this episode of The Proving Grounds. I really hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know any comments or criticisms on how to make these long episodes interesting. I'd love to hear them. So please tune in next time, where we're going to take the all-weapon deck through The Proving Grounds.